Good morning, everyone. It is 2:28 p.m. here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's April 17th, 2020, and it's actually kind of a cloudy day outside, but it's the perfect day for me to be inside and make videos for you guys. So this is going to be our second Esper video, and in this video we're going to be talking about Siren, Iron Giant, and Rama. Just a quick correction from my previous video. There are latent elements that I didn't talk about, so Ifrit is going to have a latent resistance to ice, so that does make him a little bit more of a better Esper for fighting against Medina. He also has missile attack defense, which if you're pretty heavily into PvP, might be viable for you. So I missed those. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm still learning just like you are. So I got all of the information in here on this video, and let's go ahead and start with Siren. So, if you have Siren, you're going to notice first that she has 10% resistance to fire and a latent 10% weakness to lightning. She's going to be number 4 in magic, number 1 in agility. Now, initially, the number 1 spot for agility is shared by a few Espers, but that agility is going to be one of the highest out of all Espers that you can get. She is number 16 for attack, so she is pretty low on the attack list. She's number 12th for TP, number 17th for AP. That kind of brings down her general battle focus stats in terms of being prepared and jumping in and getting people elevated and combating right away. HP is also 13th out of 21st, so not the best there. Her second highest stat, though, is dexterity. So for a crit build, it would not be entirely out of the question to use her on a melee character. But for sort of the immediate melee use of her, I would not put her on right away. So she has a couple really cool stats, and we're just going to talk about it going right down the list. And anything you see on the left side is sort of the summary of what I think are the most important stats she has. So, with most of the UR elemental Espers, she does get the evasion and accuracy +7. She gets the stab up attack, so that's going to be +15%. Cheshire, come here. Got my little kitty. He's little. He wants some love. You get slash resistance up 20% for those of you who are getting really into PvP. If you're thinking about facing a lot of Sterns, or if you're adjusting your team for a PvP match, you could set Siren to help give you an advantage against a Stern enemy or a Sir O. Anyone with a blade, you're going to get that 20% damage resistance, which could be really powerful. And finally, she gets the critical hit +7, and so far she's one of the only Espers I've seen that has the critical hit +7. So you really might want to consider building her for a critical build, or if you're going to direct her towards a melee build, maybe build it towards a critical evasion agility build, and maybe make sure that she's using stabbing weapons, right? So making sure that, you know, you've got a polearm, you've got something that's going to stab. Or you could just build her for slash resistance, and you could put her on a high agility, high crit unit and try and give them that extra durability. Now, in addition to these sort of general stats, she does have Fire Killer on her. She gets a Beast Killer 20%. She also can build up her water resistance if you give her the chance. So there is a lot of different roles she can fill. If we get an event where Beast Killer is going to be really relevant, you can always respec her into Beast Killer. I think one of the other things that's interesting is also the critical hit is far away from the other attack element buffs. So you can see here that the critical hit is in the upper left, and then in the lower right and beneath are all of the other relevant stats. So I think you might have a trouble either speccing for both with her right away, because, let's be transparent, not all of us are going to be a maxed out Esper user right now. So things to think about with her, you might just want to go the defensive route for slash resistance, and pick up that evasion if you can, and just use her as that sort of tankier Esper that you can put on one of your faster units until you're able to 2-star her, awaken her, and get her all the way up there. Now, one of the more popular Espers that I see a lot of people talking about and a lot of people using, it's actually rated up in the S rank on the Ultima Esper tier list, if you will, is going to be Iron Giant. Now, Iron Giant's a little bit complicated. I would say, and I would caution you on Iron Giant because I think there might be other Espers who are better than him, more for the initial player, but I could be wrong. So he does get an innate darkness minus 15%. So, right, people who are going to be fighting against Stern, people are going to be fighting about Ramuh. We fight a lot of darkness element PvP characters right now. This is not going to help with that. He is 5th in terms of maximum HP. His TP and AP are 6th. He does have the lowest agility out of all the Espers at 9 agility when he's fully maxed out. And he has an agility of 7 initially. And to give you some perspective, Siren, who we were just talking about, has 12 agility initially. And to give you more perspective, that difference of 5 agility could be the difference between 5 to 10% CT haste, essentially, in this game. So it could be the difference between going first and not going first. So that's something you always want to keep in mind when you're looking at this type of build, because you're having to think about other things like speed and HP and all of that. So thankfully he does have reasonably high HP. He does have 6th in TP and AP. He actually has decent dexterity, which is nice as well. He's 5th in attack power at 78, 6th in magical power. And, you know, in comparison to other units, his agility is way low. He doesn't seem to offer anything initially here, so let's take a look at his abilities and see why he's ranked so high. So, he does get that slash resistance again. Now, that slash resistance, of course, is going to be critical, but all you're really going to be doing with Iron Giant, if you're putting him on and using his slash resistance, is going to be trying to mitigate for that darkness element, right? Because that the most prevalent probably slash attack damage right now is coming from Stern, I would say, in PvP, or coming from, gosh, who else would be any type of tank, right? So that would be Mons, that would be Engelberts. Gosh, the amount of slash damage that's out there right now is a lot. So you're really looking at maybe mitigating tank damage with this. And you're going to be looking to put him on an attack character as well. So how you may want to strategically use Iron Giant is to put him on one of your characters and make it a glass cannon build. Now, what I mean by that is when you look at his buffs in terms of attack up and his other elements, he gets a feisty attack up plus 11%. He does get another attack plus 4% node, raising it to 15%, but it's separate from the upper left. It's actually on the lower part of his node, so in order to get it, you would have to have multiple sections going into the Iron Giant's board, and for that, you would have to have him probably be 2-star awakened or further. So I'm only going to say really you have access to attack plus 11% up reasonably. And then he also gets slash attack up. So for your Sterns out there, for your tanks out there, this might be a good build. He also gets the evasion up, of course, and the accuracy plus. So this, of course, makes him the standard evasion accuracy. So he is kind of that really strong slash attack damage enhancer. And when I think about how maybe to mitigate his darkness weakness, I would think about actually maybe putting him on a darkness unit like Stern himself. That would sort of mitigate the darkness damage down that he receives and make him a little bit more viable. Stern has the agility to balance that out. So you're going to want to look at maybe putting him on a unit with a little bit more agility so that it's not going to punish them as badly for his low agility. And some other techniques that he has, or places on his node he does have some dark resistance, so you can mitigate that weakness. That's probably going to be further down his train, though. He does get Beast Killer and Darkness Killer as well, and again, you can always respec into those depending on what you're fighting, or if there's an event coming up that is very Beast heavy or Darkness heavy. So things to think about. I always think about Iron Giant right now as the glass cannon, just because I think he has that slash up, he has that attack up. That's what you're going to be going for. He's a little bit slower. He's going to take, like, basically make you take a hit. If you're in PvP, you want to be able to do the hit first and then maybe survive the opponent's hit. I think he's not for the defensive hearted. He does have high HP though, so in that regard, it helps. Now we're going to talk about Rama. Now, Rama has some pretty good stats here. He's number 2 in AP and TP, number 1 in magic, number 5 in agility, which is really decent to help out those casters, and he's number 6 in HP. Now, of course, being Rama, he gains a 10% resistance to water, and he gains a weakness of 10% to earth, which is going to be translated to your characters. So overall, the actual stat package of Rama is pretty decent. The only thing that's really terrible is he's 19th in attack. So you're not going to be wanting to put him on your attacking characters. His dexterity is 15th out of 21. You're not going to be putting him on any of your melee characters anytime soon. He's built for mage characters. Rama is a man of focus, as they would say of John Wick. He is here to buff up your mages. He is here to do that exclusively. Now, Rama, the information out there on Rama is a little bit construed around how much magic attack plus he gets. I put 17% here because that's what the Ultima has here. And even then, you can see that Ultima mixes up magic power up with magic attack up, which I think is a little weird. When I looked at the US wiki, I also saw that it was magic attack bonus plus 17%, which was a little weird as well. So I'm thinking maybe there's an error here and it's supposed to be magic attack either plus 15% or plus 20%. If there's any users out there with the Rama card, I would love if you could just comment and verify down below. I personally don't have the card, and nobody in my Discord when I was making this video had the card enabled to verify for me. So either way, he's going to be a huge magic up build, and notice that all of his magic up, his evasion up, his accuracy up is all in the upper left. So not only do you have all that magic up, it's all in one direction. It's all going to be right there and accessible for you. Rama, if you are a caster, is your man. I would even say he's probably more caster friendly than Shiva or Siren, just for the fact that all of his nodes are close together and he's focused on dealing that damage. He of course has some other abilities like earth resistance and impact resistance. Let's be honest though, monks are not necessarily in the meta right now, and the only earth resistance you really need is against Mont, and if you're not killing that Mont before he shows up and hits you, you're dead anyway. He gets aquatic killer, which again, if you need it, or if you need water attribute killer one day, you can always respec him and grab that. But honestly, I don't think those are really worth it. You're going to want to focus on the magic up, that free evasion that's just sitting there. Go for it, really invest into it, and dive into that for him. Alright, you guys, that's it for this video and the Espers that we're going to be covering today. I hope you all found this information useful. Again, thank you so much for supporting me and providing with me feedback in the comments. I do look and read at every single comment that you guys post down there. I am trying to grow and change the way that I do my videos so that they're the most informative possible for you guys. If I ever say anything wrong, please call it out in the comments section and at least be able to have a conversation with me about it, because I am just like you guys. I am learning this game and there is not enough content out there talking about this stuff right now. The wiki is unreliable and that's kind of where we're at right now. So thank you so much, you guys. It means so much when you leave comments, when you check out my stream, all of that. And I look forward to hearing from you, and make sure you drop that follow, that subscribe, ring that bell. It helps me out, and it really lets me focus on this and do more of this, which I really enjoy doing. Thanks so much, you guys, and have a good rest of your day.